Welcome to Phoenix English classes, and today we are going to start with the last poem that is prescribed in CBSE Board Class 12th core subject English Code. This sixth poem is entitled as Aunt Jennifer's Tigers. This poem has been composed by Adrian Rich, and in this short poem, the futility of the marriage band or the constrictions on the women folk has been painted. It's a very beautiful poem and presents a very good contrast between a married woman's life and her creation. Here Aunt Jennifer is in the center of the poem, and the poet explains what does she do and why she will be remembered, how she will be remembered, and what kind of a contrast her life and her creation presents. Let's start with the poem. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen, bright topaz denizens of a world of green. In the beginning, in the opening lines, the poet says that you can see the screen there, the tapestry there. That is well decorated with her needlework by Aunt Jennifer, and what she has painted on this green color tapestry is the pictures of the tigers. You can see Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen. Across the screen, across that tapestry, you can see the tigers prancing. They are jumping from one place to the other. And in the background, that green forest has been presented. It seems that the whole world is a forest, and the only inhabitants of this forest that are fearless, that are full of pride, are the tigers, and they are the only citizens, they are the only inhabitants moving freely on that green world. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. They are so brave, they are so chivalric, they are so bold that the men who are present on the screen, which is showing the forest world, even in the presence of those people, the tigers are not the least afraid, they are not the least shrinked. They are bold enough. They are prancing as if there is nobody else except of them. They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. Their gaiety, their action, their behavior is full of chivalry. They seem to be making the same confident motion as if there is no other creature except of them. They do not pay any attention to the men who are also present on the screen. They are freely moving there, exhibiting their bravery, their boldness, their chivalry. They are neither ashamed nor afraid. Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. Aunt Jennifer is in the last stage of life. Though she has decorated this tapestry so beautifully with her needlework, yet now she is in such a state that she is wearing wool cloths. Even then, her fingers are shivering of gold, and there is no strength in her hands, in her fingers. Perhaps she cannot lift that little ivory needle with which she used to decorate, with which she used to make all these things that we can see embroidered on a tapestry. The massive fate of uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. Another description of the weakness of Aunt Jennifer has been shown here. She is still wearing the wedding band. The wedding band, the heavy bracelets that were offered, that were gifted by the uncle at the time of her wedding. She is still wearing those bands, but her hands are so weak. She is so exhausted, so devoid of strength that she cannot lift her hand because of the weight of that band. But she is still having it on her hand. When aunt is dead, her terrified hand will lie still, ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. In the last stanza, the poet says she is approaching towards death, and soon she will die. And as soon as she is a dead woman, she is dead. Her hands, which are shivering of cold, they will stand still. They will be motionless. Yet, the ring with ordeals she was mastered by will still linger there. The household difficult or very difficult work, very difficult task that she used to do every day. She was very much used to doing all these very difficult and heavy tasks, and those tasks have made their sign, have made their mark on her body. It will still linger there even after her death. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. But one thing is clear: the embroidery she had created on that green tapestry, on that green screen, in which she had presented the tigers with her ivory needle, by her mastery of embroidery work, the tigers will still remain there, and they will never be afraid. They will still prancing, they will still making the same fearless movement on the tapestry. They will always seem proud, and they will never seem afraid of anybody, even after the death of Aunt Jennifer. Here ends this poem. The poem has a very good contrast about the life of a married woman who lives in four walls, and throughout her life she performs very difficult household tasks. She is timid also, she is tamed also. Even then her mind is full of that kind of fearlessness or freedom which can be seen in the forest, enjoyed by those tigers. If you still find anything difficult, or you have any kind of doubt about the poem, you can write in the comment box. For the textbook question and answer, you can open the description. The link is given there. You will find all the textbook question and answer there. If you have some problem about the text, about the explanation, you can WhatsApp me on my personal WhatsApp. Keep studying, keep liking our videos, and subscribe our channel to boost this channel up. That is all for today.